Stranger Things 5, Volume 1 has released. First reactions, first thoughts, Anthony. Tell me about it.
42 years in the making. It's finally out. I had a really good time with it. It was a good 4-episode arc. It felt like a 4-hour movie, essentially. And there were some really great bits. I thought it ended on such a high note and got me very excited to see Volume 2 and then the big finale. So I'm really looking forward to where the story's going. I will say there are some ups and downs in the season and with some of the characters, but overall, it was a very strong start to the season. It's good to be back in Hawkins and back with all these characters that, I mean, many of you grew up with. These are like your Harry Potter characters, and it's great to see everyone back in action. This is a gigantic show. So many people in this cast and so many storylines, and the Duffers, Levy, and Frank Darabont have been doing a great job balancing everything.
Yeah, it's an interesting way you put it, how it feels like one big movie, because I thought each episode was going to feel like a movie with how long they were. I mean, the lowest runtime clocked at like 53 minutes. The finale, I watched them all in one push, and it was like 10 o'clock or 9:30. I'm like, I'll finish it. I'll do the fourth one. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm like, oh my God. But it's interesting because you're right. It does feel like the 4 episodes in Volume 1 make sense as a film. And then I'm sure Volume 2 will have the same tone and trajectory, because it almost felt like the episodes just never ended. Because sometimes with these kinds of shows, it feels like each one can be its own film in itself. But we have 4 episodes. We have Chapter 1, The Crawl. Chapter 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. Chapter 3, The Turnbow Trap. And Chapter 4, Sorcerer, which is just a great episode title. And I think one of the highest rated episodes of Stranger Things, if not the highest, at 9.8 on IMDb.
Ooh.
I think it was a fantastic finale. I think it was the best episode in the volume, hands down. And we'll talk about the big twist at the end, the big reveals, everything going on in the show. But first of all, take a minute to just talk about our sponsor for this show. MoviePosters.com provided us this amazing Avatar Fire and Ash poster over my right shoulder. Use our code Raiders10 at checkout to get 10% off your order from MoviePosters.com. Plus, use our affiliate link in the episode description of this podcast. They got plenty of Stranger Things posters, so go to MoviePosters.com, use our code Raiders10 today. And Anthony, which of these episodes was your favorite?
The 4th one.
Yeah.
Definitely, because of the huge finale. Should we just go right into spoilers?
Hold
or
on,
do
let it breathe,
Okay,
man.
let
it breathe.
You guys know why I like this. Everyone, I think, agrees this is the best episode of the season.
Well, I want to talk about some stuff, I guess, that I think it does really well this season, and then I think talk about some stuff that it's not doing super well. And number one, the action's fantastic. I mean, this movie is bombastic. The practical set pieces and action set pieces are huge. And also managing an ensemble cast of so many different storylines, so many different characters, so many plans are happening every episode. It's like, here's one group making a plan, here's another group making a plan, here's another group pitching a plan to this other group, and it's just all connected really well. And part of that makes me understand why it took so long to get this season, in addition to the visual effects. But I will say the gap in between seasons is definitely felt for me.
It's impossible. Like, this is a really imposing feat as a writer to be able to, you think about, you're not just doing plot threads that are intersecting over this 10, I think 8 episodes it would be total.
Of the show?
Oh, yeah, of the
I think
season.
It's
10 episode arc. You got to think about, there's, 25 cast members of the main cast, and they all have their own little arcs. They all have their dialogue. They all have their trajectories and subplots. This is an incredible feat of just writing and keeping everything cohesive, balanced, well structured, and not confusing. This is a gigantic undertaking in storytelling, which is why I think it took so long to get this season out. The script, it's gigantic. Compared to the first season, it's a very simple story, very small compared to what they're doing now. So I applaud the writers and the filmmakers for keeping everything cohesive and keeping the audience on board with what's happening, what to expect in the future, and what they're all working on. So I think that the best thing about this season is all of that. The storytelling is strong, and it keeps you invested in up to speed with everything happening, which is challenging with this many characters.
Especially because with, episode 1, you kind of have to do a solid recap and exposition of what's going on in Hawkins. Hawkins is now the most fun military-run place. Like Rocket Robin is the great bit as the DJ, talking about like who else has so much security in their home, stuff like that. Like, so now Hawkins is under quarantine and military control. The Upside Down, which split open and made a massive crack in the earth from the end of the season 4, has now been patched up with a metal Band-Aid, basically. And all the kids and the families and the people that live in Hawkins, they're basically going about their daily lives. Most of them don't really know the truth of what's going on, but obviously our main cast do. They just know that there's a military presence in their town, really. But the people who do know what happened, it's sort of like living in the time or era of the Blitz in London, of like you have to go about your everyday life. You still have to go to school. You still have to go to work. The milkman's still delivering bottles, but, a house can get blown up by a bomber any day. But you still have to live this normal life, which is really interesting. But they've turned it into a normal life while also our main cast are all trying to break into the Upside Down whenever they can, with Hopper as the main agent, to discover where Vecna is, because Vecna has sort of disappeared. No one knows where he is. They can't find him in the Upside Down. Elle can't find him in the Upside Down. Henry's undiscoverable. And so a main plot point of the season is trying to discover Vecna and trying to find him and kill him, but they can't.
I gotta say, the setup for what the world is now was slightly a disappointment for me.
In what ways?
Because I think season 4 was so great.
Outstanding.
It's my favorite season of the show.
One of the best seasons of TV I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love season 4 so much. It really got me reinvested in the show in a major way. And I love the ending where it seems like, oh my God, all hell's about to break loose.
Literally hell.
The earth cracks open and these giant crevices of this doorway to the Upside Down opens up all over the place. And and then it cut, and I was like, oh my God, the monsters are going to be unleashed. All hell is coming to Hawkins. How are they ever going to defend themselves? How are they going to survive? Demogorgons and the Demodogs are going to be running rampant. And this is insane. And so when the new season opened and it was all patched up, it was kind of underwhelming for me. Because for me, I was like, it seemed like that had the huge earthquake, giant crevices opening up, seemed to have no purpose now. They've just kept the big gate open. That fourth gate is open, and that's how they're going in and out of the Upside Down. The military. So I just got to admit, like, the fact that it was, like you said, patched up like a Band-Aid, I was like, no Demogorgon slipped out, no dogs came out. It seemed like nothing happened with this giant, like, the Upside Down opened up, yet it had no effect on anything whatsoever.
Yeah, maybe it would have been too hard to do. Maybe they're leading to that war, and
it'll be open again. Maybe
I'm sure it was opening again. The finale, the metal patches are getting burst open, and Demogorgons are coming through. Yeah, kind of heading into spoiler territory now. So if you have not seen the season, guys, here's just spoiler warning, because Anthony's just drooling to talk about something. I agree to an extent. I do think that the way they ended season 4, I thought it was going to be like episode 1, it's going to be war, getting it right into it. It still is war to an extent. Our 20 or 30 main characters are at war in a way. It's an underground war, though, because the military is doing their own thing. They're patching it up, but also trying to learn and probably take advantage of the weaponry that they can get from Vecna and the Upside Down. And obviously, they've developed weaponry to be the kryptonite to Eleven, who is a superhero basically in this show, and I can't wait to see what she does going forward. We also have another superhero or sorcerer that showed up at the end of this volume. But I think that with Stranger Things, they do kind of stick to a blueprint every season. And if you go back and you remember what the previous seasons all kind of start like, they start off usually with a dark sequence. This Season 5, Volume 1 is Will in the past, when he's trapped in the Upside Down, getting attacked by a Demogorgon, taken to Vecna, and we see the infiltration of Vecna with his spores or whatever going inside of Will and becoming infected with the...
This sounds weird.
It was shot kind of weird. Basically being infected with the Upside Down or whatever is Vecna's power.
Yeah.
To become his vessel eventually, which we finally get the culmination of. Now, then after that, what always happens? We have like a light tone. Think of season 1. Opening sequence is dark inside the EO.
The lab, yeah.
The lab.
Yeah.
DOE, the Department of Energy. And then it's the kids playing D&D. Mm-hmm. Season 2, same kind of thing, a dark sequence, but then the kids sequence. All seasons have the dark opening and then a light sequence. And the light sequence, I think, is something that I am happy that the Duffers have maintained, keeping moments light, reminding you that this is just a show about kids. It's a show about families. It's a show about community. And we have the fun sequence of everyone's like all living in the Myers. With the Wheelers. Everyone's living there, and we have too many people living in this house. And it's funny, people are
the bacon.
The bacon sequence is hilarious. So I think it's important to maintain those moments of brevity. And the Duffers are doing a good job of remembering and reminding us like the show is still about kids and family and community and life. But I do think that I was a little disappointed as well that they just covered up with a Band-Aid, basically. Literally covered it with a Band-Aid, but still they are at war.
Yeah, I mean, the danger's still there. I was just slightly disappointed, like, oh, that's what they did with it? Because I was expecting, like, in my head, I was like, okay, they're going to be, like, fending off. I thought they were going to be, that Hawkins was quarantined to protect themselves from monsters trying to get in.
Sure.
That's how I imagined the season would start. Like, okay, the Upside Down's been opened. We need to protect ourselves. So those are my expectations walking into the show. But again, it's not my show. So that was
not your show.
That was just my slight underwhelming feeling at the opening of this show of the season. But then once I accepted, okay, this is what they're doing, I was having a lot more fun, more into the episode. And then I'm really on board with what's going on.
And I think one of the more interesting parts of the show is Holly Wheeler being a main player now. And she's sort of the first child that's getting taken by Vecna. We don't know exactly why Vecna's taking and targeting these young kids, but taking them to a place where Vecna has them trapped somewhere in a psychotic state inside of a mind. It's really interesting, and she's taken by a Demogorgon in the first episode of the show.
Did you notice 12 disciples?
12 disciples. Oh, look at that.
See the connection?
I didn't even notice that. That's really cool. And so the vanishing of Holly Wheeler is the second episode of the show, and this is where I think this is a good point for episode 2, where everyone kind of is splitting up into their groups, and they already sort of were. Mm. And I think that the Duffers and the writers have done a good job putting the best characters together that fit well chemistry-wise. I think it's great to have Hopper and Eleven back together because they so infrequently are together usually.
Season 4, they weren't until the end.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I mean, and then they're in the cabin in season 3 a lot together. But I like having them back as a unit. I think they work so well, and they have great discourse together, and they're going through a lot, and they do a lot of action. And what's also really interesting is as they both go into the Upside Down, their separate means, there's a strong military presence in the Upside Down. And I was really shocked to see that Dr. K, played by Linda Hamilton, is running this operation, but then the reveal that it's in the Upside Down was so cool.
Yeah, that was a really fun twist, and going through the ventilations, and then you see the floating ash flakes or whatever they are. I was like, oh my God, we're in the Upside Down. But I agree with the groupings. I think they've really nailed the chemistry and who works well. All the older teens together is great. So Steve, Robin, Nancy, and Jonathan, those 4 together, the older kids, I think they always work well together. And then we got the main group the main kids back together as their own group, their own unit. Because I think that for 2 seasons it was Dustin and Steve always together, and Dustin wasn't with the kids anymore for a lot of those seasons. So I like having him back with the friends.
I will say there's definitely some character assassinations going on here. And I don't literally mean by characters getting killed off, but in terms of like screen time, dialogue, character beats just don't make sense. And
Involvement.
I think the biggest disappointment for me so far in volume 1 of season 5 is Steve Harrington, who he still is in the show. He's still got a decent amount of screen time, but he's really just not as exciting of a character as he used to be. He used to be so much more engaging, and you really got behind him, especially in season 4 when he really puts his life on the line so many times. And now he just it kind of seems like comic relief to an extent. And then I think what a lot of the writing is doing in Stranger Things Volume 1 of season 5 is forced conflict. forcing conflict with Steve Harrington quite a lot. Steve Harrington constantly butting heads with Jonathan to prove who's like the more macho guy in front of Nancy, which is funny at times. But then also his forced conflict with Dustin, which sort of is just feels like it's coming out of left field because they always had such a strong friendship and connection. But now it feels too forced that they are fighting right now.
Yeah, I like the Jonathan conflict. That I think that works because that ties to the first season, the rivalry. Yeah. I honestly am not loving Dustin and him not getting along at all. It's just like unpleasant.
Yeah, it is
It's
unpleasant.
And you're like, why do they hate each other now? It's just like they're just not communicating. And I get it. Dustin's growing up. He's not a little kid anymore. And Steve's always acted like the older brother. So I get that. It's like kind of like a sibling clashing. But it's just, I think it's been done a little too much. But I like the him and Jonathan rivalry because they always had that. That was the big plot for the two of them in the first season. So I think that I think it's good that it's going back to that between the two of them. I also think that, and again, I think this is just because some characters, they've lost importance because there's so many pieces. And some characters have lost their impact, and I think Mike has lost his impact, where Mike and Eleven were like the co-leads of this first season, it felt like, and it was like, it felt like they were really this great couple that are in this together. Mike's still involved, but Mike feels way less impactful than he ever did in this season. I don't know if you agree.
I agree. He's there helping make plans, but it's really Nancy doing the bulk of the work when it comes to that. Sometimes he gets in some work in terms of figuring out the plan for the group. But I've been feeling that for the last couple of seasons with Mike being kind of pushed out in terms of importance for the show. And obviously Eleven's your lead. But sometimes she doesn't even feel like the lead right now.
Yeah, she doesn't have as much screen time.
She doesn't feel like she has screen time, and she's important, obviously. But I think clearly what they were doing is Holly Wheeler seems to have been the lead for the first couple episodes, and which is I think a cool route. You have a bunch of new characters in the season, but so far, season 5, volume 1 is missing a great new character that I think audiences are going to connect with, like Eddie. And I think the killing of Eddie Munson has been greatly felt. I'm feeling that loss, and I'm missing Eddie more than ever. I miss that electric presence of this new character that he brought that was instantly likable and so fun to root for and engaging and unique and just charismatic as hell. And I think it's really being felt in season 5 so far. But I think Holly Wheeler's a really interesting character. That's not a new character, but she's bulked up and she's been taken. And her connection to Max, the big reveal of where Max has been trapped.
I gotta say, the actress who plays Holly is fantastic.
She's great, yeah.
She's got a lot to do in this first volume, and she's young. And I've been very impressed with that actress. She's been a really solid rock in these scenes. A lot of them are very complicated and difficult. And I think she's just been knocking it out of the park acting-wise. The
twist reveal of Max was also really exciting because Holly's trapped inside this Vecna world inside of his mind, which we learn is basically a memory from his past somewhere. And there are hundreds and thousands of memories that are worlds, entire worlds that people can be trapped in and explore. And Holly's been taken there. She's been pulled by this guy, this persona who Henry has created as Mr. Whatsit, who is going through basically a nice version of Freddy Krueger, enticing children to take them away from scary monsters that are going to come kill them. She's the first one taken, living in this picturesque house that Henry lives in. But Max basically saves her from it and has revealed to her that she's trapped inside of a memory of Henry's. And that's where Max is hiding. And I think it was a really cool reveal. She's sort of dressed like a scarecrow, which is pretty funny. But it was great because Max has been in a coma for several episodes going back to season 4, but now we get to see that she's actually been trapped somewhere with her full intelligence intact.
Yeah, she's still got that intelligence.
Well, I mean, she's not a coma.
No, yeah. I also agreed about missing Eddie Munson. However, I don't think Joseph Quinn agrees. Because if you think about this, Eddie Munson getting killed in season 4 of Stranger Things was the best thing that could have ever happened to Joseph Quinn.
100%.
Think about the career this guy has had just in the last 3 years. Quiet Place, Fantastic Four, Gladiator, a bunch of other roles. This guy's career skyrocketed the past 3 years. And he's got the stuff. That's why he's getting the roles. But, like, him, if he was still in Stranger Things, he wouldn't have been in any of those movies, if you think about it. So, Joseph Quinn, I think for him, the best thing that happened, like, we were all upset that he got killed in Stranger Things Season 4. We were like, oh, no, they killed Eddie. But you know what? For him as an actor and career-wise, and being in the new Beatles film, holy crap, dying in this show was best case scenario for him. He never would have been able to do this already 3 years of insane roles in Hollywood if he spent a year and a half shooting Stranger Things 5.
It's possible.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say he couldn't have done that. I mean, you know, Millie Bobby Brown still does a Netflix movie every single year, so she still does a lot of work. And, you know, the other kids are still working as well. It might have looked different in terms of his career. Maybe he's not in Gladiator. Maybe he's not in that. I still think that he was so good in the show, he would have landed great roles anyways.
Yeah,
but who knows if the timing would have worked where he couldn't have done A Quiet Place day one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I still think he's talented enough. But you're right. It opened the door probably for his schedule to be like, I can do anything coming my way.
That's what I'm saying. I never meant he didn't have the talent to do those roles.
You said he had the stuff.
I'm just saying, like, his schedule opened when everyone else's was like, okay, we have a year to shoot Stranger Things 5.
Yeah.
I can't take any roles for that year.
I think you're absolutely on the nose there. I think you're fully there. But let's take a quick few minutes and run to our intermission because I want to play some fun movie trivia games with you, pal, if that would be agreeable.
Yeah.
Before we continue, the best way to support our show is go to patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost podcast. You can sign up there and get access to bonus episodes, bonus content, which we drop every single week, as well as access to our Discord at specific tiers, plus awesome merchandise. Patreon is literally the reason we can do the show full time. Without supporters backing us on Patreon, we cannot pay the bills. So thank you so much to everyone who supports us there. Also, leaving 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple are integral to our show's growth, as well as getting discovered by new listeners. So go ahead, leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can leave written reviews, which I'll get to one in just a minute. And also, just sharing us with your family and friends is a great way for our show to grow. Organic growth is fueled by sharing. Share our content on Instagram, on TikTok. Share us in your stories. Leave comments, leave likes, engage with us everywhere. Subscribe on YouTube. Do the things that help us. It's pretty easy. We're easy to find, and we'd love for you to check out our content as well as full episodes.
This episode, of course, is sponsored by our great friends at movieposters.com, the #1 place to get all of your poster needs today on the internet. Go to movieposters.com on the World Wide Web and use our promo code Raiders10. Raiders10 always gets you 10% off your orders, as well as the affiliate link in the description of this episode and our social media bios. That gives James and I a little cut of the action. Movieposters.com has all of the posters imaginable for your film lover and TV lover. If you want some Stranger Things posters, Season 5, they got you covered. Get your posters there. They have huge selections, all sorts of sizes, framing, even backlit posters like that one behind James. Beautiful Avatar Fire and Ash poster. Backlit, looks like it pops like in a movie theater. The holiday season is upon us. You got to get gifts for the movie lovers in your life. Get them some movie posters of their favorite films and TV shows. Or, you know what? You deserve a gift too. Get yourself an awesome Stranger Things 5 movie posters. The best place, of course, is at movieposters.com. Promo code Raiders10. Affiliate link. You know all the stuff. Act now. Before supplies run out.
You're a mess. Movieposters.com.
I've never said act now before.
Let's get into the movie quote competition, everybody. And start with that quote. All right, here's the quote, Anthony.
Let's
Are you
hear it.
ready? Just because you shot Jesse James doesn't make you Jesse James. It's from a TV show, by the way.
Just because you shot Jesse James doesn't make you Jesse James. TV show. Huh. Is it Deadwood?
Nope.
Is it Jesse? What's a Western TV show?
It's
not a Western.
Don't think of Westerns.
Okay.
Think of it more as like an idiom.
Okay, I don't know then.
Breaking Bad. Mike says it. It's pretty big impactful scene.
I know that came to mind, but I was like, it has no context whatsoever.
Should have gone with your gut, man.
I should have. I didn't trust my gut. All right, here's mine. No dream is ever just a dream. Especially when it's about Jesse James.
I don't know. What is that?
It's Eyes Wide Shut.
You watched it recently. Yeah.
So?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's why you thought of it.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. You fucking asshole. So what if I watched it? Well, it obviously inspired the quote, Anthony.
You don't know my life.
Anthony, guess this movie release year. The Machinist.
2004.
He got it. Congratulations.
I based it on, I know Dark Knight was 08, Batman Begins was 05, Machinist must have been 04. You can base everything off of the Dark Knight's release. What year did Barry Lyndon come out?
That's a good question.
Let's see if we get a good answer.
1983.
75.
I was thinking, is it before or after The Shining? You can base everything off of when The Shining came out.
Didn't work for you though.
Didn't work.
Oh, I left my notes.
Your
Okay, here we go.
newts?
My newts commanders. Okay, what are Stanley Kubrick's top 4 rated films on Letterboxd?
He totally skipped my movie pop quiz. But what'd you say?
Sorry, man.
No. Say it again. Say it again. You can skip me. It's fine.
What are Stanley Kubrick's top 4 rated films on Letterboxd?
The Shining.
No.
Eyes Wide Shut.
No.
Barry Lyndon.
Yes.
Dr. Strangelove.
Yes.
Full Metal Jacket.
No. Fucking no. Sorry, man.
2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
That's 3.
He's just listing off the whole filmography.
Isn't that the name of the game?
I guess, but I mean, does it count when you list off all the films and eventually getting it right? I feel
What
like
are you talking
I feel
about?
like you get one more pick.
What are these rules?
You get one more pick.
Guess the name. Guess the movies, but don't say his whole filmography.
No, I'm just saying, if you just list off the filmography, it doesn't count when you eventually say it.
We've done these kinds of
I
questions
know.
a million
I'm giving
times.
You one more guess. One more guess.
What are these rules? Those are the
He
most.
He didn't make that many movies. He didn't make that many. You get one,
I
one
know.
more guess.
Lolita.
No. Paths of Glory is number 1.
Paths of Glory. Thank you. This guy.
I'm just saying, he didn't make that many movies. We have to cut it off to a point where if you just say them all, then eventually they're gonna be.
Well, listen.
Eventually, there's 4 of them are gonna get into that top 4.
If your question's gonna have rules like this, you gotta let me know the rules. We've done a million.
I let you know the rule.
No,
after 6 guesses, I was
exactly.
like, okay, you get one more.
You let me know the rule after you complained about it.
No, I'm just saying. I let you know the rule because I didn't think I would need to.
No, here, listen, man. Like, we've done a million.
Listen, man.
We've done a million quiz questions, and it's like there's never been a. You can't say any more movies.
For this, yes.
Well,
I made a rule. You're just mad that I made a rule.
You made a rule mid question
because
being answered.
Because I realized in real time I need to make a rule.
I need
to make this actually challenging.
Man, I bet you.
Everyone
in the comments, who do you support in this debate in the comments?
Here's my logic. If there wasn't a rule, you could have just eventually listed off all of the films, and you would have gotten the 4.
Exactly, we've done that 1,000 times.
No, not like this context. Not like this. Not like this. Not like this. Okay.
Right.
Well, here's a bonus point question. How many films does Kubrick have as 4 and up on Letterboxd? Give me a number.
4.
9.
9. Cool.
See, if I just let you guess 6 and then 5
No,
and 7 and
totally
8
not.
and then 9.
Oh
That's
my
exactly what was happening. You would have eventually said
That
9.
is totally different.
It's exactly the same thing.
That is totally
Exactly
different.
the same thing.
Because
How is it different?
You are ridiculous.
How's it different?
Can someone?
No.
I need support in the
I'm
comments.
asking you a simple
I
question.
need support.
How is it different?
in the comments?
How's it
from
different?
Anthony's ludicrous
Just
behavior
explain.
right now.
How's it different?
You are.
How's it different?
That's totally different.
How?
Because it's just a number answer.
But you know the numbers.
I know
Eventually,
numbers.
If you
I
just
know numbers
if you just
exist.
list off the numbers, you'll get to the right one, right?
You're being a bully.
I'm just saying. No, you're just mad because I put up a wall. I put up a rule. You didn't like the rule. That's what you're mad. That's
not-
what it's all about.
That's not what
You
it's.
you heard the rule. You're like, no, I don't want the rule.
No, listen. If you said you have 5 guesses to guess the 4 movies, that's totally fair.
Now I will do that. I just didn't realize I should have made a rule.
Oh, now it's okay that I'm against the rule.
No, I'm just saying I should have preempted a rule. I
need support, guys.
I should have preemptively put in a rule.
Support in the comments.
So that's why after 6 guesses, I was like, okay, a rule needs to be put in place.
This debate's gone
And you
on
weren't
long
happy
enough.
with it.
We need to move on. My turn for movie pop
What's your
quiz.
quiz question?
How many movies can you name with a dog in the title?
Seriously?
That's the question.
Okay, Dog Man. With the word dog?
The word dog in the title.
Okay, Dog Man. Dogville.
He's got 2.
Oh, this is tough. Movies with dog in the title. Cats and Dogs. We grew up with
there
that
you
one.
go.
That was a good one. Cats are all evil in that one. I don't agree with that. It can't be like a breed of dog. It has to be the word dog.
Has to be the word dog.
Okay. Fuck.
Otherwise, I always say to Anthony, how many movies can you guess with a freedom dog in the title?
Now you're making a rule.
I didn't make a rule. I gave very clear rules. I didn't cap you with guesses. I said just name dogs in the title.
I don't know. I'm cooked.
Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh,
Isle of Dogs. There's a movie just called Dogs. The Dog. The Power of the Dog.
There's a lot. Power of the Dog.
Quite a lot. Dog Soldiers. Dog Gone. Clifford the Big Red Dog.
What a question.
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
Absolute banger. A Dog's Journey. Yeah, man, there's a ton.
Yeah, there's 12.
There's more. I just didn't listen. I didn't say them all.
Which one did you have to Google check me on?
Which one?
Yeah.
I just had a list up. I didn't.
I thought you like fact checked me.
No, I was just pulling up my list.
Okay. You didn't fact check me on Dogman
Dogman's a movie, isn't
or
it?
Dogville?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. Sure.
Because I said one of them, and then you were like, you were like,
Let's move on.
Did Anthony just make that up?
Can you give us some haters besides you?
Oh man. Here we go. First up, we got today. Sorry.
Yeah, we're all waiting on bated breath for you to pull up your fucking list.
We haven't been getting that many lately. We haven't been getting that
What's
many.
happened out of unsubscribes?
I've not seen. I haven't screenshot anything.
Well, I know we got a lot of unsubscribes on one-click letterbox reviews. Like half of them are like, I will not unsubscribe to this movie. It's very funny.
That's great. Hold on, let me pull up my screenshots folder because I want to find some.
Well, while you pull that up, I'm going to read a 4-star review on Apple Podcasts from a listener because I'm sick of waiting. This is from Akipat.
Akipat. That's
Great pod with 1 note, 4 stars. I rock with the podcast heavy, but Anthony, ... Them wet mouth sounds in the mic gotta chill, bro. Just back up from the mic a little, bro. Everything else is fire.
I'm lip smacking a lot.
Apparently.
How do you know it's me, not James? Is it because while I'm talking?
Yeah.
While I'm talking, I'm smacking my
No,
lips.
it's like you're in between sentences.
Gotcha.
I think you're just like swallowing saliva loudly.
It's these mics, man.
Well,
Yeah.
what I do is I back away from the mic a lot when I'm.
Yeah, you do your.
That's me, like.
You do your turn.
Yeah, I guess because I care about people's listening experience.
Whoa, who said I don't? I didn't even know I was doing this. I was unaware. Who's the hater now? I wasn't even aware of this issue.
Boom roasted.
All I do is care.
You literally just like did so much more water noises with your mouth from that sip.
I gotta hydrate, man.
You can do it away from Cam. I mean, away from Mike. Maybe that's what you do now. When you take a sip of water, you do it away from Mike.
I'll try to do better.
Because you literally just took a sip of water and you were like slurshing it in front of the mic.
Hold on.
I don't know. If
How's
it helped.
that?
I don't know. I don't have headphones on.
I don't even think I made a sound.
Did you find any unsubscribes this
I
whole time?
didn't.
Okay.
There haven't been any.
Let's move on to your streaming recommendation. This is the most ridiculous intermission we've ever done.
I watched Richard Linklater's new film, Nouvelle Vague. Fantastic. It was an incredible film about the production of Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless. I loved every minute of it. It's an unbelievable celebration of filmmaking.
That's a documentary, right? Or is it a...
It's a film.
Okay.
It's a proper narrative film.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's not a documentary. People play the roles.
Yeah. Okay, so I was double checking.
Yeah. And Zoe Deutsch plays Jean Steenberg, and she was great. She's awesome in it. I love the film. It was so cool.
My streaming recommendation is a Netflix film. Well, not a Netflix film. It's on Netflix. Caught Stealing, which I think is still my top 10 of the year.
It's a documentary, right?
Bro, your fucking face, the way I saw the joke enter your brain, and you did your fucking stupid Anthony smirk like I'm about to tell a joke. You did a good job holding back on laughing.
Yeah,
you're like...
Oh,
that was good.
I got you, man.
That was good. Oh, man. It's so funny to see a joke formulate in someone's mind. Oh, that's good.
Oh, man, roasted. Oh, man, that's funny. It's a documentary.
All right. Yeah, it's a great film. Let's get back into Stranger Things Volume...
Where can you watch it?
Huh?
Where can you watch it?
Netflix!
Okay, cool.
Back to Stranger Things Volume 1. Let's talk about the rest of the season. Huge reveals here. Obviously, we have Max in the cave, which is somehow connected with Vecna. And we didn't get much Vecna. We got mostly Henry in a suit, three-piece suit. And obviously, learning this.
I like it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Luring the kids into the dream world and the dream state. But we did get Vecna at the end of the film because...
Series.
Huh?
Series.
At the
Keep
end of
saying
this
film and movie.
Series, sorry. Yeah,
Sorry, I gotta let you know. You keep saying movie.
At the end of the movie, just kidding. There's a documentary. We did get Vecna at the end of the series, at the end of the volume, which is all connected to 11 and another big reveal. So I think the biggest reveals this volume are Max, for sure, trapped inside Vecna's mind world, I guess if that's what we want to call it, as well as the reveal of number 8, trapped inside the military facility, which she is the source of the power of the kryptonite that stops 11 from being able to use her powers, as well as, well, actually 4 reveals. That was holding back Vecna, who was revealed at the end of the series,
I'm confused.
walking through the upside down, or going into the upside down. And then Will Byers, the huge twist and reveal of him getting control of hive mind powers, which I think was so exciting. And, you know, the Volume 1 was a bit of a slow drag for me sometimes, but it had such a great conclusion with Will finally tapping into powers he never knew he had. I will say it's a bit similar to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The way he can look into Vecna's mind.
The connection.
The connection he
has.
has.
The powers rubbing off.
It is what it is. It's a little bit of a...
But the show is always borrowed from other popular media. It's always done that.
But Will Byers has always been a character who, season 1, episode 1, he's the kid who's taken. And for 4 seasons, we've watched him not hanging in the shadows, but he's never had too much to do in terms of the overarching plot with Vecna and the Upside Down. He's been infected, obviously. He sees things. But to finally have this big hero moment, 5 seasons in the making, 47 years in the making, was so exciting. And it was really badass. And, you know, what I loved about season 4, especially with Eddie and the Upside Down, the heavy metal, it was a badass season. It was cool as fuck. And I think this season was lacking that edge up until this point. This big attack, but the reveal of Will getting control of powers was the coolest part of the season so far, and I think brought the edge and coolness back to the show.
Yeah, I get that's why the volume wasn't spectacular, but it ended in spectacular fashion. It had a great ending and a great reveal. The 2 twists at the end of number 8 and of Will, I think, was really just a great capper for the volume to get everybody, myself included, very excited to see what happens with the story in Volume 2. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really mind too much because about the Harry Potter influence, because they've used so many other things for inspiration. I was expecting something again. And there's other things that they even talk about in the show, like that book that Holly's reading that they use for inspiration for
Wrinkle
other
in
things.
Time.
Yeah, Wrinkle in Time. So it's what the show has always been.
Oh, I don't think it's a con.
Yeah.
It's just
But
that's what I thought.
But I will say there were like obviously like sometimes the same dialogue as in Order of the Phoenix. You know what I mean? So sometimes it was just like a little too on the nose, but yeah, it is what it is. It was just, and someone asked me like what's going on exactly, and I was like, it's Voldemort and Harry. I was like, it's just Vecna's powers have rubbed off onto Will. Just same thing, the same way Voldemort and his abilities rubbed off onto Harry. That's why Harry can speak parcel tongue. That's why he can talk to snakes. It's because the powers of Voldemort,
if I'm not mistaken,
imprinted onto him.
Part of Voldemort.
Yeah, so it's the same kind of thing, same ideas. Easy way to think about it. And I think it worked really well because giving Vecna someone other than just 11 to have a backstory with, I think is interesting. That Will has this backstory with Vecna as well, this history with Vecna, not just 11. And the reveal of 8. Did you guess who was behind the door?
Nope.
I did. I said it was her sister.
From Chicago?
Yeah, from Chicago. I was like, it's her sister. Because I was like, who else has powers? And it looks like we're going to have an Avengers team-up battle against Vecna, which is fun.
It's the only thing that makes sense. You're going to need some superheroes. Now, let's talk about 11's powers compared to Will's. Now, how do Will Byers' new powers work? Is he more powerful than 11? Are they the same powers? They're not. So, obviously, 11's powers are telekinetic-based, and she can influence anything in reality. Whereas Will's powers really only work with things connected to the hive mind. Like a Demogorgon he can control, or vines. Maybe he can even control Vecna to an extent once he faces him. He can't just pick up random items. He can't just open random doors. It has to be connected to the hive mind. And his powers really only work near the hive mind. He's like they talk about with Robin. He sort of has to find, he's the antenna for the Upside Down. And the closer he is to the hive mind, the more power he has and the more powerful he is. And he's basically like hacking into Vecna's powers in a way with controlling the hive mind. Now, does Vecna know this yet? I'm sure he will find out in Volume 2. Will his powers be able to work against Vecna? I have no idea. That's a big question mark going forward. Like, obviously, he can affect the Demogorgons and stop them and freeze them in the air. But
break their arms.
Can he do the same thing to Vecna? We'll find out. And does this mean that Will die if Vecna is killed? Because Vecna is the source of the hive mind. If you kill Vecna, does that mean Will has to sacrifice himself?
Or maybe only one must die so the other can live. Harry Potter.
It's a bit too much like Harry Potter now.
So it's fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. So the biggest theory, obviously, going forward, the biggest question mark with this season is, what the fuck is Vecna's plan with these kids? He's taking 12 kids, that's his plan, and he's putting them into this like pod room where the kids are being connected to the hive mind, and then they're being put into the psychic prison where Vecna keeps their minds safe.
It's like the Matrix.
Yeah, a simulation. So the question is, and we already talked about this, he's taking 12 kids. I think that's an allusion to the Jesus and his 12 disciples. I think that's the reference there, why it's 12. Also, but 12 hands on a clock, 12 notches on a clock. That's probably it too. Because the clock has always been a constant motif in this entire show. The chimes of the bell of the clock. That's probably it. It's probably not about Jesus and the disciples. It's the 12 clocks.
I mean,
I'm taking back that. I think
I think
it's a clock. So, what's Vecna gonna do with these kids? He said he's gonna these kids are gonna help him reshape the world. How is he gonna do this? What exactly is he doing? What does he need these kids? Are these random kids? Is he choosing them randomly, or is he choosing them because they have a certain sensitivity to the Upside Down? Like, why is he in particular taking these specific kids? But also, once he will get them all hooked up eventually. Like, that's going to happen. There's no point in setting this all up unless he eventually gets all 12 kids. So they're not going to be able to protect all the kids from Vecna and the Demogorgons. So once he gets all 12 kids hooked up in his spaceship, his whatever it is, what's he going to be doing? What does he mean by reshaping the world? So I'm just curious, like, what do you think could he possibly be up to with these kids?
I think it connects to Will, too. And Will is obviously the first one to get this kind of treatment. And maybe Will be controlled by Vecna and sort of be a vessel as maybe a commander or general in his army.
Well, no, Vecna rejected him.
Well, maybe that's what these kids will be.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So what does he mean by reshaping the world with these kids?
That they'll be commanders and generals for his army.
Mm-hmm.
So if
he's gonna turn them. That's cool. He's gonna turn them into like his lieutenants.
Yeah. So if Will can control pieces of the hive mind, maybe these kids can as well. And as he spreads his world, he's gonna need more people to help him take over everything, and they'll be the people who lead his army that can control the Demogorgons.
And so he basically insinuated that Will was the test dummy in the first season of the show. Like, Will was like the test trial, essentially.
Yeah.
And now that he's perfected whatever this thing is, he's taking these kids to use as his instruments and his weapons.
That's what I think.
Okay, interesting.
Now, but I mean, it still could be possible where Vecna can control Will.
Yeah.
You know, what if Will turns bad because Vecna controls him?
Do you have it? I love how it ended. I did have an issue with the fact that Vecna doesn't kill anybody.
A lot of people don't get killed.
Like, he killed all the soldiers, but why not kill the people that stopped you before?
Plot.
I know, but they're right there in front of
Could
him.
have killed Will. He's literally like face to face with Will.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, things like that, it kind of takes me out of the stakes of it. The fact that the group of kids who stopped him before, they're right in front of him, and he doesn't do anything about it. So that's something like, and he walks away, and that scene was really cool. Him taking out the soldiers, it was like reminiscent of Vader in Rogue One. But I gotta say, like, not doing anything against the people the people who already stopped you before, they're a threat to you. So you should take them out.
It's a show, bro.
I know.
It's a show.
I know.
It's a show.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things that are inconsistent about this series, especially this volume. You know, I think the Demogorgon. There's a big debate about the Demogorgon strength against specific people like Karen with a wine bottle versus an entire battalion of soldiers with machine guns and 50 caliber rifles and guns. And, you know, Karen does more damage to a Demogorgon with a wine bottle by herself versus 30 soldiers with guns.
500 bullets. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot to debate here. First of all, it's a show. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Second of all, there are rules with Demogorgons that have been part of the show forever. You know, temperature is a big deal to the Demogorgon's strength in a way. You know, when it's around warm temperatures, it's not as powerful. It's a little weaker, a little more hesitant. When it's in cold temperatures, it's much stronger, much more powerful, faster, more intelligent, and harder to kill. So you could argue that maybe the house was warmer in the interior, so the Demogorgon's a little weaker, and the outside's colder. I'm just bringing up things that
didn't show a thermostat. They didn't show a thermostat.
Just talking about lore here, man.
Get out of here.
Just talking about lore.
What, is it a fucking sauna?
Yeah, man. that bubble bath. Yeah.
Come on, man. If that was the case, they would have shown a thermostat.
But also, Will was kind of tapping into the Demogorgons at the time when the Demogorgon went to attack Karen to steal Holly, as well as to attack Joyce, who's swinging the axe. I understand.
No. I disagree. I think they just wanted to give her a good hero moment, and it worked. It was a good moment. That's all.
But I think
it had anything to
lore
do with
matters.
Yeah.
They're setting up lore on purpose.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if they had anything to do with it, they would have showed a thermostat.
It's also just a show.
The Demogorgon was like, it's 76 degrees in here.
The Demogorgon being afraid of Joyce with the axe is a little worse for me.
Again, they're just giving hero moments to characters. That's all it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But again, we have other new characters. I think Derek is really funny. That kid's
Derek's
doing a great
great.
job. He never was in a show before. He just acted in a commercial. He's doing a great
Wow.
job. I also like the storyline of tracking the Demogorgon and figuring that out with the tracker from the shotgun shell, and also the cars decked out with the scanners and the antenna at the top to track the signal of whether it's Hopper in the Upside Down or tracking the Demogorgon in the Upside Down. I think those sequences are a lot of fun. They're really cool plans. And I like how organized everything is in terms of the underground guerrilla warfare that's going on.
Love the projectors.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Love the projectors. It's great. It's awesome.
And
I really like Hopper's been training Elle, and they have this obstacle course. I think it's really cool. He's preparing her for war and for battle. And they did a great job of contrasting the two different styles of parenthood with Joyce and with Hopper. How Joyce handles Will is completely different to how Hopper handles Elle. And I think it was really insinuated and perfectly portrayed the different styles of parenting and the effect it has on their children. And I like this season such very big for Will's growth in terms of finally standing up for himself and wanting to take lead and command. And so it's been great for Will.
And accepting who he is.
Yeah, accepting who he is.
Yeah.
Great storylines. And so the show does have a great job, has always done a great job of emotional resonance for many of the characters. And you can see that a lot in the show. I think that Maya Hawke's always a highlight. And she brings a lot of charm and personality and gravitas to the Robin character. But also, man, I fucking love Murray. The more Murray, the better. There's getting more Murray, man. Everything that guy says cracks me up. I love that guy. He's so fucking funny.
He's quite fun. All right, well, that's kind of our big breakdown in reaction to Volume 1 of Season 5 of Stranger Things, everybody. We hope you enjoyed it. Now, do the things that help our show. Go to patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Sign up today for bonus episodes, bonus content, access to our Discord, merchandise, all kinds of great stuff happening over there. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave some comments. And in the meantime, take care.
See you next time.